is going on, everybody? Happy Friday and welcome to podcast episode 43. I'm going to be joined today by Hector, a freight agent that deals with a lot of cross-border stuff between US and Mexico. Let's jump right into it. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, happy Friday, bro.
Happy Friday. It's not a
Yeah.
Friday without a beer, but yeah, that's fine.
Hey, you can drink a beer. That's up to you. But I'll try to keep this one short.
I wasn't prepared. This is Sean's fault. She must have sent
Yeah.
beers to the guests.
Yeah, Sean will take you out for a beer. I know you're out in his neck of the woods, so I'll send the money for that. But let's get into today's show. How did you get into logistics? What was your start in this industry?
I got an opportunity to become a Mexican CBP officer on the border. A friend of mine got me into this role, and I was there like a year. So I work in every cross between Mexico and US.
So you were stationed at every single border crossing that
Yeah,
exists.
and so I saw the potential in trucking. I see the money. I saw the money
Yeah,
back
sounds
then,
good
not
flowing.
now.
Yeah, back then. What year was that?
That was like 12 years ago.
12 years ago, yeah. So
Yeah,
definitely a long time ago. The industry was a lot different back then, that's for sure.
yeah. And then I bought a truck, and as an owner operator, no owner, I bought a truck and I had a driver, and I failed. I lose that truck, and I realized that I need to get into the industry from the bottom. So I start driving.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's always a really good place to start. I mean some people make a whole career out of it and never leave the driving side of things.
Yeah, the hardest part about being driver is leave the truck.
Yeah. I mean what type of freight were you running back when you had the truck?
Uh, general freight on a drive on Mexico to Canada
Driving.
every week. Auto
Mexico
parts.
to Canada. Wow,
Yeah,
man. So how does that work on that side of the driving? Are you guys are allowed to take a backhaul, right? Like from Canada back to Mexico?
yeah. You take
Yeah.
back hauls Mexico to US to any place, and
Okay.
but yeah, the problem with trucking is with the driving side is you start to I, isolate from the others, so it's difficult to get out of that job because you start losing friends, connections,
Yeah. Family, everything, man. I mean, you're just out on
everything.
the road all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, what were some of the things you learned from being a driver that translated into further in your career?
I mean, I learned a lot of stuff, but mostly to about trying to not being isolate myself from the world just because I'm
Yeah.
lonely. So right now, as an agent, I can be anywhere, but I'm still trying to get attention and trying to make connection and trying to build a bigger network.
Yeah, so you would say one of the benefits of being a freight agent is the freedom to work from anywhere you want, right?
That's one of the benefits. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel that most people, I've had these conversations where some people like to work in an office, some people like to work from home. My biggest thing is working from home is that you can really do what you want, right? Like you can work from anywhere, can be home, right? You can go somewhere for a week, change your scenery, you can go meet people, you can further your connections from traveling all while you're getting your work done. So I enjoy the freedom of that as well.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, I
Outside
understand
of the truck.
that stay at the office, but when you work with the U.S. market, you can do that. But in the Mexican market, you need to show up.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's one of the benefits of the internet, right? It kind of connects more people. It gives you more opportunity to do things and a lot more freedom. When we go back to you driving the truck, I mean, how many years did you own the truck, and what kind of led to the failure of it?
I still own trucks, and the failure on the first truck I bought, it was I have no experience,
Yeah, sure.
zero experience, so that was the problem.
I mean, how were you getting the freight? Was it spot? Is the Mexico market similar to America, just spot boards?
You build connections.
Build connections. So it's a lot
Yeah,
more connection based than the spot
yeah.
market,
There,
really in America.
there's some technology, and there's some you can have the same. They have brokers too, so you can call the brokers too and get some loads. But yeah, it's the
Yeah,
same.
I mean,
It's
I'm
the same.
interested.
It's the same shit.
Yeah, I
Just
mean,
in Spanish.
how's the I mean, how's the rate per mile on like Mexico freight, like the freight you book
That
from Mexico
depends.
going
That
to Canada?
depends. That
Of
it's.
course, it depends, but I mean, generally,
No, I mean, it's depends on the side. Depends
yeah,
on
who
the
you got it
route.
from. I mean,
Yeah,
it's the same thing as American market. Like, it just depends which brokers you use, what customers you have. Okay, so once you got out of the truck, where did you go from there? What was the next step?
I was on the truck dispatching, and after I got enough clients to get out of the truck, I start dispatch few
You
people and
started
get,
this fish.
yeah, and get my second and my third truck. So and and then we run some few business, and now I'm doing loads directly from the shippers as a freight agent.
Yeah, okay. So you went from the driver, then you started dispatching, kind of growing a little bit, getting some trucks, putting some drivers in them, dispatching them. And then I'm assuming you met shippers along the way, and then you just started kind of
Yeah, I
getting
met
more freight.
shippers, and now with the nearshoring and the booming to Mexico, more and more people needs a Mexican connection, you know. And the experience that I had on the border, uh, few people find that like something they can use.
Yeah, I mean, there's more and more. It's funny actually, even in Serbia, I get messages all the time from friends like, "Hey, any dispatchers that speak Spanish?" And I'm like, it's becoming like more and more frequent, where Spanish is becoming very valuable in trucking these days.
I mean, any language, but that Spanish is the language that I can speak. There's a lot of Serbian drivers and
Yeah.
Ukrainian drivers and Russian drivers. So
Yeah, I mean the Russian, Serbian, that kind of that area plus the Spanish speaking. Those are like the two major languages outside of English. But
yeah, but
basically,
that doesn't that's not important because I mean logistic is about money. Money talks.
yeah, it's funny because I used to dispatch one guy, and I mean he spoke like English enough to be able to drive the truck and communicate with the shippers, but his English wasn't like amazing, right? So I used to just use Google Translate. I would just text him everything in Spanish because that was like just much easier for him. But he did speak English to the point he could do the job.
Yeah,
But
I
let's
mean
get into
you
what it.
just need to be able to communicate. And I was talking with a big broker uh, a time ago, and he asked me, "And how good are you in sales?" And and I say, "Well, I'm good in English, and I speak only 50% of the fucking language. Imagine in Spanish, I'm a fucking shark."
Yeah, I mean, that's a good answer. Basically, as long as you can speak enough, man, you can get a lot of things done.
Yeah.
But let's get into what you're doing now. So basically, you ended up getting some shippers. You were starting to get more freight than the trucks that you had that could handle the freight. So I guess the next step for you is to become a broker. And
Right now, I want to become like a more cross-border expert to help another brokers to come to Mexico. And I mean, few brokers approach me to try to get a contract, and some others approach me to find reliable carriers in Mexico. So all depends on the needs of the client,
okay, so I
and
mean, you
all
do
depends
some
on
freight.
the needs of the market too,
Yeah,
because
so you
there's a
move
new
some
market for
freight.
that.
Yeah, so you're moving some freight, and then you're also doing some consultation work. You're helping people find some carriers, helping people establish shipper connections, a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah,
So I mean, you
yeah.
would kind of define yourself now as the cross-border guy. I mean, if we had to coin you as one thing, that's what it would be.
That's will be my nickname.
Yeah, Hector, the cross-border guy. That's where you're going to
Yeah,
be in my head
that's
now
my
every
goal.
time I
That's
think
my
about
goal
it.
to not to become a broker, to become a consultant on the cross border services.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing a lot of people don't realize, right? Because, like you said, with the nearshoring stuff, especially with you being on the border and you being able to kind of be near it, is you need to know somebody local to these places, right? So, for example, I'm like the Serbian guy. Like, if people from the States need, some help with stuff out here, I'm over here. So it's a lot more accessible to me. And like you're
You
over there, so it's a lot more accessible
you
to you.
always will need a local. That that's for sure. If you want to run an operation from the United States to Mexico and have your full operation in the United States, you're doing wrong.
Yeah, you're always going to need a local connection in any country that you would like to kind of move into. Most people, I mean, the standard thing is they take one of the people from their office in America and then they just send them to these countries. So they have like their own one person. But I think it's a lot easier
Yeah,
to just find.
I posted about that on LinkedIn. I have a friend who told me, "Hey, my fucking Mexican connection doesn't want to go to Mexico."
Yeah, you just didn't want to live the lifestyle out there.
He
So where do you
he
live? Are
hired
you
the guy
currently?
because he speaks Spanish, not because he can come to Mexico.
Not
So
because you want to go. So are you over there, or where do you live? Where are you based out of full time?
I'm based on the border, so
So you just make
I'm
trips
here and
frequently
there.
between.
Yeah, all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah. One. I think you're the one that made the post on LinkedIn where like you're like, oh, like I ate I don't know, like a hot dog for breakfast on the American side and then like tacos
Yeah,
for
that was
lunch on
me.
the
And
Mexican.
tacos and the next. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
beautiful. That's beautiful.
yeah. I
I
love food, man. I saw that post. I loved it.
Yeah, Mexico is about music, food, and happy, being happy. So that's why you need to come to Mexico to do business here, because most of the trust is built in that places when you eat with clients, when you um, share a drink, and being there.
So you would say, the Mexican culture, especially in logistics, values, the face-to-face meetings, those lunches, those kind of personal interactions.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, in North America, right? Like, so I grew up in Canada my whole life, and food isn't really like a big thing, right? And I feel like in America, it depends where you are. Every state's a little bit different, but I mean, in North America, food doesn't really bring people together the way that it does, I would assume, in Mexico, especially here in Serbia, where sharing a meal with somebody is like something kind of special, and people enjoy the food. And I feel in North America that they don't kind of treat food the same way that we probably do.
No, I don't know about that, but yeah, some places in Mexico, most of the in the states of the north, Nuevo Leon and all that states takes pride of barbecue. So they spend a
Yeah.
lot of money and doing the best dishes about with with the meat, you know. So yeah, it's that's the culture.
Yeah. And I mean, just touching back on the freight, when you were, the type of freight you deal with, is it mostly dry van freight? Or, I mean, are
Yeah,
you
dry
involved
van.
in some reefer stuff?
Yeah,
Drive.
I mean, with my own equipment, yeah, I own reefers, but it's a worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, reefer
Yeah. I'm not a big reefer fan.
it's about being at the door, delivering and loading. It's not about driving.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not a big reefer fan, man. I mean, I've dispatched it. I know about it. I know how to deal with it, but
Yeah,
it's not something I really enjoyed.
reefer drivers has all my respect, because you need to sleep with the reefer unit on your ear. That's the worst.
Yeah. I mean, between sleeping with the reefer unit, between the nighttime deliveries, between having product that goes bad and having to find donation places, and I mean, reefer's a special kind
And you develop like a they say reefer ear.
of.
Yeah. Hey, I, I used to be a rock when I sleep. I You can dance and I will hear nothing. One time I drove a reefer. That was the worst. I was
It's
sleeping.
loud, eh?
Yeah, I was sleeping in Canada with the reefer, snowing like crazy, fucking frozen outside, and suddenly the reefer goes off 3 a.m. in the morning, and I hear
Yeah,
the reefer
just
going off.
turns on, eh?
Fuck,
Just
it was
wake
the
you up
worst.
from a dead sleep, bro. Like,
Yeah.
Um, but all right, man. What was your first success in logistics? I mean, anywhere you want to start, as a driver, as a broker, as a consultant. I mean, what was the first time you thought, like, I like this industry. I'm doing well here.
The first mm, the first success, leave the truck, become something else. without without any experience, so and trying to
Yeah.
improve myself.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's always, the first steps. What was your first failure? What was the first kind of huge mistake you made in logistics?
I mean, when you lose money, when I lost my truck, I mean, that's the
Yeah,
worst. The problem right now with all the people coming to logistics is they expect to make so much money
so
easy
fast.
and quick, and that's a lie. And that's the problem with all the gurus and internet that, hey, I will teach you how to run a 100 truck company for $500. Fucking liars. So
Yeah.
that's the problem. So much people in this industry, also the guys who instead of dispatch they selling courses to dispatch. That's the worst. If you can make money yourself, you for sure you can't teach anybody to make money.
I mean, there's two things that I think about it, right? So like the first one is I don't mind the people selling the courses. Like it doesn't bother me. And especially because it is good, like a good resource. Like say you have no experience, right? And like you can't find a company that'll take you in and teach you stuff, or maybe they'll make you sign the non-compete or something like that. I mean, it makes sense, right? So like it's cool that they do stuff like that. This is the problem that I have with it is the ones that tell you, oh, if you pay me like whatever, $400 and you take my course for a weekend, that you're going to know how to do this job. Like you're going to be able to go into a company and dispatch a truck. That's the issue I have, right? Like, because they're selling you this idea that they can teach you how to be a dispatcher in like a week or 2 weeks or a day. But that's not what it is, right? Because that's all just classroom stuff. Once you sit down and then the driver calls you and says there's like all these problems, you're not going to know what to do in that situation.
No, but that's the problem because there's a lot of people in this industry without any experience, any practical experience. That's the
Yeah.
problem because they don't know. Even guys in brokerage and guys on dispatching, they don't have experience. So right now it's
Yeah.
is the course era. Everyone is selling. I don't have the problem with someone teaching how to do the job. My problem is with the people who try to scam other people. Hey, come
Yeah.
here. I will teach you in 1 week how to make $120,000 as a dispatcher. That's a lie.
Yeah.
So, I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
yeah,
that's the issue I have too. Is the people that sell people a dream. That's the issue that I have with it
I
as
have a
well.
lot of people sending me messages through my social media. Hey, I take this course as a dispatch, but I need clients. I don't know how to get clients. Call the guy who charge you money.
Yeah, yeah. I
But
mean,
and they
that's
say,
the issue.
but I have a certification from who? From that guy.
Yeah, what are you gonna do with the certification? Yeah.
Nothing.
I mean, that's always the number one issue. Like we both know that because we are both dispatchers. Like the number one issue for a dispatcher, independent dispatcher, is to find people to dispatch, to find clients. That's always the number one issue. I mean, do you have any tips you feel comfortable sharing? Like, what would you say to people? Like, what are some tips? I mean, my favorite tip that I saw was to leave like business cards at truck stops, like under people's windshield wipers. I was like, that's
I never had any problem to get clients because if you know how to treat the driver with respect, they will tell someone to hire you
yeah, true. Once you find one, two, three people, then you'll find 6, 12, 18, whatever stuff
and
like that.
and speak with the truth. That's it. First client I ever had, he called me, hey, can you dispatch me? Yeah, but you wanna negotiate good rates? Hey, rate the the rates are the same. I mean, I can negotiate, but I mean, I will not get the best rates and the best lanes that every dispatcher pays. All depends
Yeah, yeah.
because it
They're
depends on
gonna
your end. Yeah,
promise you crazy stuff. Yeah, but, yeah, I give you
yeah,
eighteen
we'll make you
dollars a
ten
mile.
thousand dollars a week and with a
Yeah.
box truck and
Yeah, I used to get it. Yeah, actually, it's funny you say that because that was the story I was just thinking of. There was this company on LinkedIn once, and they posted like their weekly numbers for box trucks, just box trucks, and it was like 35% higher than like my best performing dry van of that same week. And I was like, bro, like there's. I said to them, I was like, can you show me some breakdown? How did you get to that number? and like they couldn't show me any numbers. I was like, yeah, I don't think that's possible, dude. Like,
Everything is possible, but if you're trying to sell that story, that's a problem. I mean,
yeah. But what's your craziest logistics story? And also, actually, can I ask? I'll ask that to you in a different way. Do you have any crazy stories from your time at the border patrol, like the border inspection period?
yeah, one time we were on the night shift, and it was like in Mexico we have a light, and you cross with your car, and you get green and red. If you have green, you can cross without any inspection. You had red, you need to park your car and wait for a secondary inspection, and that's based on a camera. They weigh your truck, they take some pictures. If something doesn't match, doesn't add up, they send you to secondary. So we stopped this guy who was empty. It's only him in the car, and hey, we're gonna run an inspection. So it was me and my buddy. My buddy turned his back to the driver. The driver pulled up gun, pa,
Are you kidding me?
shooting himself.
Oh my god. So yeah, he obviously had something or was
He
involved in
doesn't have anything.
something, but he was just fully empty.
Empty.
Like the truck ended up being empty completely, nothing wrong with it.
Nothing wrong. Nothing wrong on him. Nothing wrong on the truck. We never knew what happened. What really happened? What was the problem?
Bro,
Because
that's
it makes sense if you find something like money,
yeah, yeah, that's what I thought.
weapons.
Like something was in that
No, it
truck that
was
he
nothing.
didn't.
The guy was clean.
Okay, well, that's probably the most insane
It's
story I
insane.
think I've ever heard in my entire life. Bro, are you okay? Like, how? Holy Christ! I
Yeah,
mean,
my
did you
friend. It
quit?
was. It was like They hit me. No, the blood
Did you
doesn't. The
quit like
blood. The
after
blood
that,
doesn't smell, bro.
or did you keep working there?
I keep working.
Jesus. Okay. Let's hear the craziest story as a try. I mean, there's no story anymore that's gonna be even remotely close to that. But
The best story on as a dispatcher. Uh, we run a lane every week, South Texas to Massachusetts for a reefer. It was fresh veggies, and we use different brokers. And sometime one guy called me, "Hey, we have this load. This urgent, blah blah blah. Right? Everything is for today and for now. Okay, yeah, we can do it. Good rate, everything right." So the driver takes this load, and they we book this load like 1 p.m. and they start loading my guy like 11 p.m. something like that. So he run few miles on on the by in the night, right? Like he stopped like 4 or 5 a.m. in a truck stop to sleep a little. And this crazy broker was calling me, calling again and again. She called me like a lot of time. I was sleeping. She called me like 5 a.m. Hey, why do your drivers stop? He still have hours to keep going. She was crazy. And
yeah.
I don't know. Let me check. I was sleeping. She started calling my driver like crazy, but like crazy. And the guy was naked on the sleeper. So he answered the FaceTime.
Oh yes, her
Yeah,
FaceTime.
and he was naked. She never called again.
Did the load deliver completely fine?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But she
Yeah,
must
delivered
pay
on
pay
time
us pay us
perfectly.
extra for the show.
Yeah, oh,
That's the
come
crazy
on,
story.
bro.
I mean, it's
Yeah,
funny.
you have some insane stories. Yeah, what the? So the
Yeah,
guy
That's
answered
that's
it.
just
Just
because you're dispatched on time. Because I take all the calls. I take all the calls, and I take all the invitation like yours. I I talk with everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I have some wild dispatch stories too, man. Like we had the one guy went through Las Vegas, disappeared for like 14 days. The reefer ran out of fuel, load was claimed. The guy was just in like a casino for like 2 weeks straight. And like we had,
Until
I mean, there's
until
like
he
when
run
you're,
out of money.
yeah, bro. Like when you're a dispatcher, like you just hear the crazy because you're involved with so many people, so many loads, so many trucks that like things are gonna go. Like in our industry, things are gonna go wrong. Like it's just a matter of time. It's not like if, it's when things are gonna go wrong. And then like you're talking with the drivers, they become your friends, and like they'll tell you the funniest stuff, dude. So I mean, I really do miss those days, the dispatcher for sure. But let's switch gears here, man. So you're going to the Broker Carrier Summit. What are you like most excited about, and what made you think that you wanted to go there?
The most excited is that I will speak Spanish the fucking whole event. No English for me
Yeah,
that day.
you're gonna go pretend you don't speak English there. Eh?
No, I will not pretend. I will. I just will not speak English.
Just refuse to speak English.
I mean, I had an interview with my friend Will for from this Two Dog podcast, and he asked
Yeah,
me
Hopkins.
how good do I need to be in Spanish to be on the Spanish market in Mexico? I mean, the same as we need to be on the U.S. market, just like few words.
Yeah, yeah,
So
exactly.
I
Like,
will dare everything to everyone there to speak a little, to remember high school, right? To remember Spanish classes.
yeah. I mean, I hear that, man. I used to work in a dispatch office here, like a huge one, and people's English would be like, "What is pickup time? What is delivery time? How heavy? How much you pay?" And if you ask them any question outside of those four questions, like that's it, bro. That was the extent of it. So,
I mean,
I mean, like it's effective, right? Like it works.
yeah, but you don't need to waste time on the phone. I mean, your job is doing calls.
Yep. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I don't believe that you need to speak an insane amount of English, or I guess in this case, I don't think you need to speak an insane amount of Spanish to be able to pick up
It's
freight.
like
It's pretty simple.
if you invite me to Serbia, I will learn some Serbian, but nobody will expect that I'm fluent. So I will do
Yeah,
what I can with what I learn. So
yeah.
the
For me,
same.
it's just the effort, right? Like if you want to get into the Spanish market, just try your best. You don't have to. Nobody's going to expect you to speak perfect
Yeah,
Spanish, but at least
exactly.
give an effort.
Yeah, give an
Give
effort,
an effort. That's for sure.
and people will
Um,
appreciate that.
yeah. So when you go to the broker carrier summit, I mean, are you going as a broker? Or are you going as a carrier?
No, I'm going as a Mexican connection. I will have a presentation about how to make sales in Mexico.
There you go.
So
So you're
Dan
going on the consultant
Lindsay,
side.
yeah, invite me to talk about Mexican market
How to
and see
enter,
what
how to
happened
deal with
there.
it. Yeah, I mean that's cool, man. So I want to talk to you quickly about your TikTok. So I've heard that you were, kind of big on TikTok, and that you do TikTok, and then I just looked at it before we came in here. So you're like sizable on TikTok, and
I mean, I don't know.
um,
I do a little dances. It's funny to see the fat guy dance, right? That's why I'm famous.
you have? Are you joking or you're not joking?
I'm joking.
I wanted to see you like doing those funny TikTok dances.
You want me to see that? You need to go to the summit, and after 2 beers, I will dance all night.
I'll have somebody that goes there to take a video of you at like the after party at like 2 in the morning, and we'll get the dances. But as somebody, so you said you started in around February, and I mean you have some really big numbers on TikTok. What are some tips you would give to people on how to get started, and just some
How to
general
get
tips?
started, about safety, about not being dumb, doing using the ELD, the our service, because there's a lot of misinformation between drivers, a lot, and
Yeah,
everyone understand what they want and what they need, and that's the problem.
yeah,
So,
because the issue with the drivers is that they all talk to each other all day, and I noticed I actually figured this out like after about a year or two on the dispatch side, is that like owner operators spend a lot of time in group chats and on phone calls with each other. and then they all lie to each other. Like they'll tell some guy like, "Hey, I got a Chicago to Houston for like $8,000," and
Yeah,
then
yeah, I
everyone
make
will,
$15,000 last week.
yeah, yeah, yeah. They all lie to each other like a little bit, like slowly. So like one
Yeah,
guy will be like, "Oh, I got."
you have fishermen, hunters, and truck drivers.
Yeah, and then
Works tires.
you get back like the your driver will call you later in the day and be like, "Well, my friend at this company got $6 a mile for the same load," and you're telling them, "I promise you that guy's lying to you," but they all believe each other's lies too. That's the funny part.
I guess I had this driver last year. He was making like 1,800 to $2,100 a week on the only Texas lane that we had. And he complained with me, "Hey, I need more money."
Like he was
Bro,
making that like in his pocket, like
it
after
was it was
everything.
making a good money. I mean, for the amount of miles he was doing and being at home every week.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I mean that what you can do in that lane. Yeah, but I have a cousin who's making 3,500, and he told me that,
working less
yeah,
miles to
you
me.
guys are underpaying me. Okay, what type of car does your cousin drive? Yeah, Stratus 2002. Oh, okay, and where he lives, an apartment with other few guys. Hey, money, you can't hide money. You're
Yeah,
making $3,000 a week. Money, you will show. There's no
my
way to
God, yeah.
hide.
Yeah, that's such a smart one, man. I never thought about that. I should have started asking people that. You're right. Like you can't hide. I mean, like, sure, some people can live, in a really cheap way.
But
But if you're
but you
making
can notice.
$3,000,
You can notice. I
yeah,
mean, you can hide love and money, bro. You can't.
yeah. You're right. You're right. Like they would drive eventually like something a little bit better of a car. They would like at least have their own apartment at that point or like a house.
Or
You're
a
right. You're like,
watch,
oh, that's
or the fucking T-shirt, something.
something. Yeah, I'm gonna tell that to all my dispatch friends when because that's the thing. The driver calls like, "Oh, my friend makes $800 more to me every minute," and like I never knew what to say to them besides I think they're lying, and that's a good one. Like,
Where's the
what car
money?
does he drive? Where does he live? Yeah, yeah. Like, I like that. I like that.
Yeah, I got this friend. She's a girl, right? And she's making a lot of money on pipe uh, loads that she have. But I got another guy who know her. He told me, no, she's not making a lot of money, bro. She just uh, uh, requests a song from a Mexican group, and now she has his own song, like a Mexican song, that costs you like $4,000.
like she paid somebody to make a song for her.
Yeah,
Yeah, nice.
it's
Yeah,
four
you're right.
thousand
Like the
dollars.
money will go somewhere.
She's making money, but you need to
Yeah,
see the tips. I mean, you need to see where
that's
the
a
money
good
goes.
point. Yeah, you're right because somebody's always gonna love something, right? Like for me, it's like lately it's been cigars. So like I have nice cigars and stuff. And like somebody's gonna like something. Like that lady had a Mexican band make her a song. Somebody's gonna buy a Rolex one day. Somebody's gonna buy like some expensive pants or shoe. Like always, somebody has something that they're gonna spend a lot of money on if they're making a lot of money.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I live below my means, but my son goes to a private school that is fucking expensive. The money goes somewhere.
Yeah, money goes to your kid in that sense. All right, man. Anything else you want to talk about logistics related? I mean, you want to say, I mean, so basically you just want to become a consultant for just to help people get into the Mexican market in every sense of the way, right?
Yeah, my dream, my when I become a trucker, my dream was to drive a truck in every continent, and but I'm not a driver anymore, so I wish to become a consultant that can travel the world. That's a
Yeah.
dream.
Yeah, that is the dream. I mean, that's also my dream is to find a way. I mean, I'm slowly getting there. Like I have some business stuff to do here and there and here and there. But I want to get to the point where I'm like going to like the most random place. Be like, oh, like I need to go to like Tokyo for like a week. Like I always had that idea in my head of being like an international businessman.
Yeah, dream is cheap, but doing stuff to achieve your dream, that's little hard, but you need to do it. It's like
Yeah.
LinkedIn. I never used LinkedIn before, and now I use it daily because it opened doors for you. And like the TikTok, I never used to be on the screen and become public, but now it's some things that you need to do.
Yeah, I mean that's the even this podcast. Like, there's a lot of things that, just like you said, they just open doors. It's basically a way to further
You can be
yourself in
the
a career.
the best salesman, freight agent, broker, driver in the world, and if nobody knows,
Yeah, if nobody knows, there's no point really.
there's
I
no
mean, like
point to be
you
the
know,
best.
John Rogers is the best. Like he always says, I hand out my business. So he went on a cruise. This is my favorite John Rogers. I'm sure you're familiar with John Rogers at this point. He's my favorite person. So he went on a cruise with his family, and he made a LinkedIn post where he was just talking about it in a general way. But he always hands out business cards everywhere he goes, and he has that like phrase, tell people the problems you solve, where you go, wherever you go. And he's talking about going on a cruise with his family, and I was like, "Are you going to be handing out business cards on the cruise?" And he's like, "Of course I will be." I was like, "Yeah, of course." People need to know what you do, right?
Yeah, because opportunity is everywhere. I mean,
Yep.
last year I was in Philippines, um, and I was on a gym, and this guy approached me and, hey, you're a big guy, use my more weight. I was doing like silly sets, right? And
Yeah.
I don't want to. And he started talking. He was an architect for the line, this thing in Saudi Arabia. So you can find interest people just talking.
Yeah, everywhere you go, man, you can always there's always opportunity everywhere. And if you're just like a good person, you treat people well, you'll bump into the right people eventually down the line. And if you don't talk to anybody, and if you don't ever meet people, then you won't get
You
into those
want.
opportunities. So, but all right, man. I hope that everything goes good with you with consulting, and I'll definitely let people know. Hey, if you want to get into, because people ask me that sometimes, they're like, "Hey, you know anything about like the Mexican market?" And I'm like, "No, not really." So I'm gonna be like,
Yeah,
Hector does
hey
though.
guys, if you want to come to Mexico to doing business, send me a ticket to Cancun. We can meet you guys there, doing a plan,
Yep, there
and
you
then
go.
we'll see. And it's a write off. You can write off. So
Yeah, it's a smart trip. It's a business trip.
it's a business
It's
trip.
gonna be drinking 82 beers a day, like doing no business. But all right, man, we're getting into the end of this show. There's a few questions left. I want to know your hobbies. I mean, you just mentioned the gym. So is the gym one of your
No, I
hobbies?
never go to the gym.
Yeah, same. Like, same.
And not my hobby right now is being to my son. I spend so much time traveling and being on the truck alone that every time that I have empty or that I have available is for my son.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's a very good hobby to have.
I used to walk,
Going,
but yeah, it's my son is 70 years old. So, I mean, I got like 1 or 2 more years to be like with him all the time, and then he will become like to be with his
yeah, he'll
friends all the time,
slowly
and then
grow
I can
up,
do anything
slowly.
else.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, once he gets out of the house more, what are you gonna do?
I don't know, boxing, something like that.
All right, this is getting outside. When it comes to sports, what are your favorite sports? Do you watch any sports?
Yeah, UFC box.
It's a lot of
That's
fight.
my
Is that a
favorite.
thing? So in Mexico, is boxing really big over there? Because I
Yeah,
know,
it's
like
really
pretty
big.
much every person that I know from over there, like loves boxing, is into boxing, goes to a boxing gym.
Yeah, it's big. Boxing in Mexico is big. We have
Yeah,
a
I
really
figured because
against that's the reason.
yeah,
We're not
boxing.
good in so many sports. When you have a sport like when you are great as a country, everyone everyone knows.
Yeah, that's like Serbia. So I just found out. So we have like the best tennis player for like forever. And I asked my friends recently, like I've been here for almost 4 years, but I asked somebody very recently. I'm like, so has like everyone in Serbia always loved tennis? And my friends were like, nobody cared about tennis ever until this guy started winning everything. I was like, oh god, that kind of makes sense. As far as music goes, what kind of music you listen to?
Anything that I can dance.
Okay. So yeah,
salsa
just
and
whatever is
stuff.
good, whatever sounds good.
Yeah,
All right, cool. You're an easy
peso
guy to be
pluma.
around for a DJ. All right, I got this part of the show which I'm probably gonna start taking out starting very soon. But hopefully you're gonna save it. Maybe you're gonna do a good job, and I'll keep it in the show. What is your favorite joke?
About logistics or any joke?
Anything, just don't get yourself in trouble.
I don't have nothing right now.
Yeah,
You should send me a message about that because all my
I
jokes
can.
are in
No,
Spanish.
because yeah, true. I mean, okay, you have a good excuse for not having a joke. Then at least you have a good excuse. I can't send a message because then it won't be funny because then everyone will just Google a joke and remember it when they come on the show, right? It's like I can't let anybody know about that. All right, man. Regarding train and rail transportation, how many chuggas come before choo choo?
What?
You know, like chugga chugga, like the
Okay,
choo
yeah,
choo. Yeah. So how
that's
many
your joke.
chuggas? No, that's not a joke. It's a question.
Oh, well, okay,
I'm
okay.
asking you, like, how many chuggas come before you say choo choo?
I don't know. Depends on the mood.
I mean, you gotta
Depend
like.
if there's girls around me.
I mean, pick a number, bro. Say it out loud or think about it in your head. Like
6.
6. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. That's actually. I think eight's the right answer. Yeah, eight's the right answer, but 6 is like more than acceptable answer.
I don't know. It depends on the mood because sometimes I can drink more and sometimes.
Yeah, because I say 3 or 4. It depends on the mood in the day, and when you ask me that
And the
question.
last summit, I ended like at 6 a.m. Doing fireball shots, and I don't remember how I got to the hotel.
Like Pitbull, like Fireball. Right. All right, man. We got the last question of the show, and we're out of here to enjoy our weekend. It's gonna be chicken wing choices. So, when you eat chicken wings, do you like drums or flats more?
Drums,
Drums. Are you choosing ranch or blue cheese for the dipping sauce?
ranch,
And breaded or non-breaded for the chicken wings?
breaded.
Breaded. All right, man. That's fair. That's 3 right answers. I mean, I like blue cheese more, but I don't get mad at people for that because some people just don't like blue cheese. And also, are chicken wings popular over there? You guys have good chicken wings in Mexico?
Yeah. Every
Yeah,
every we have a boneless and chicken wings business everywhere.
yeah. Serbia has the worst chicken wings in the entire world. Don't ever eat chicken wings if you come out here.
But you have pretty women. That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. It's a good trade off. All right, man. Thank you for coming by. Good luck with the Mexico side of consulting, and we'll definitely keep in touch. Have a great weekend, man.
Les vaya muy bien a todos. Saludos.
And that wraps up podcast episode 43 with Hector. If you ever need any help entering the Mexican market in any capacity, give him a shout and have a good weekend, everybody.